agency life treating you?
It's good until now. I hope it continues to remain the same way, Unnati. How's it with you?
Amazing. A lot of interviews, nice interactions, getting to know about marketing campaigns and everything very candidly from people like you. So I'll move on to the first question, and I'll not bore you Saturday afternoon. So tell me, Jay, what makes you you, given that everybody comes into this industry and goes away? Because sometimes marketing and in general agency life can be quite pestering. So what keeps you on the journey without giving up, given that you have changed companies, you've got a very nice job, you're leading a team and everything looks fancy on the outside, but what goes behind the scenes that keeps you at it?
So to answer the first part of the question, what makes me me, I think it's just a little bit of little bit of passion to do something different, a little bit of madness, and a lot of effort. And I think the same applies to my team as well. A little bit of passion, a little bit of madness, and a lot of effort that goes behind the scene to make a campaign come true, and to get all the due approvals from the client in place, convincing them that, okay, what we're doing is right for your brand, convincing our internal stakeholders that this is what we're going to do and this is how we're going to do it. And also basically just doing things in a way where just trying to do things rather which haven't been done before, and just trying to do something different and something innovative and something fun, which at the end of the day gratifies us. So to give you an example, when we did the social distancing campaign for Fevicol, we started out by, to promote our own campaign, we started out by sending that video, that experiment to our own family members. And then ultimately the chain of life works that way, that we started getting the campaign back on our WhatsApp from, our friends and everything. And they were saying, hey, look at this, Fevicol did something amazing. And we were proud to say, okay, hey, we did this. So I think that's what at the end of the day is very, very rewarding and is very precious to all of us.
All right. What attracts you most about any social media platform, which is like your go-to platform when you open your phone or your laptop, which is one platform that's a non-negotiable that you have to open this every day?
Nowadays, it is LinkedIn, closely followed by Instagram. And then there is Facebook and Twitter. Twitter comes at the end for me because I have never been very active on it. Facebook comes a close second because it's just that I have made some friends over there and they're just there. I mean, that's all. And I use it more to wish everyone a happy birthday. That's the only use of the platform, unfortunately, now. Instagram overall is picking up left, right, and center. I think it's a very, very visual medium. And with your internet speeds increasing and getting 4G and all of that, streaming videos and loading photos has become very easy. So it really, really is something that you look forward to, and it's a great way to update yourself on how your friends are looking, kaun kitna mota ho gaya, kaun kitna patla ho gaya, and all of that. And LinkedIn for sure. LinkedIn basically helps you stay in touch with your professional world, and it also is a very, very good platform for you to get your updates about your industry, to get opinions and to get people's point of view. I think LinkedIn, from that perspective, has given the Indian workforce a voice which was missing till now. Now there are opinions where we are speaking against certain work practices which have been there since ages, but no one really spoke about it. We are speaking about ideas which can basically probably improve your workplace and all of that. So I think that's a very, very beautiful way of at least talking about things. I don't know about action as yet, but at least it allows you the platform to talk and discuss such things. So yeah.
All right. And what is the most underrated feature as per you for LinkedIn, like about the platform? What's one thing which should be used more of?
I don't know about an underrated feature, but I know for sure that, whenever a new feature comes, people jump on the bandwagon. So if anything, I would say we need to use features less, or at least make an attempt to use them when it's extremely relevant. So, I don't know if you saw when polls was launched, now people are going left, right, and center with polls and trying to just align polls to get some engagement and all of that, whereas that question doesn't require a poll. Like,
Correct.
like,
Correct.
should you not commit a crime? Yes or no? Now, the
Yeah, yeah,
obvious
yeah.
answer is you should not commit a crime. So, I mean, I think features and all of that will keep coming, whether it's any social media platform, but to utilize that feature in the best way possible and for the best purposes possible is what we need to be mindful of.
All right. If this interview is being watched by an agency owner right now, what advice would you give to an owner? And if this is watched by somebody who wants to be a part of an agency team, what advice would you give them? So one for the owner, one for the employees. To be
I think two simple advices. Two simple advices. So the agency owner, I'll say give creative people more time. And to the employee who is joining, I would say make sure your creative people get more time.
all right. Okay. And what comes for you in the forefront? Is it the matrix or the aesthetics involved in any campaign?
It, my first priority would be the aesthetics because the matrix doesn't help if the aesthetics are not right. I'm assuming the matrix means the algorithms and the kind of
Yeah,
calculations you have to go into to get a campaign going.
yeah.
However, the aesthetics comes first because the matrix only like the what consists of the matrix. The matrix is ultimately audience members, people who are going to see the ads, and the matrix. Certain hacks with the matrix can help you reach more audiences or get accessed by more audiences in a short span of time. However, if my creative or the communication that I'm showing is not aesthetic enough, is not appealing enough, it as it is going to get ignored. So out of 1,000 people I'm reaching, if I want to, let's say, get the attention of 800 people, then I better make sure that I know my aesthetics and my communication is on point and is not rushed just to satisfy the matrix's demands.
Got it. And how do you add the wow factor in your content pieces on any platform per se? How does the typical Jay mind run and find content ideas and then write and everything?
So let me just correct you a little bit. It's not just the Jay mind. It's my team's mind which runs this way. I think as a bunch of people, we are quite opportunistic. We are always looking for topical opportunities. However, and we try to stay updated. Some of our people are actively, on Twitter, on Instagram, and we have a WhatsApp group where we share, oh, this trend is going on. Can we do something for this brand? Can we do something for this brand? And it naturally evolves into a brainstorm within us. And then if we think that, okay, there's an opportunity over there, we just, go and roll with it as long as that piece of content goes really well with the brand's proposition. So to give you another example with Fevicol only, there was this post we did with Ronaldo, and in fact, I wasn't involved at all in that post. It was my team who did it. And I just suggested using a Hindi copy. That's the only role I played. But what happened is that when the Ronaldo incident happened, where he had shifted those Coke bottles out of the frame, and that had happened. So someone said, "Ki, ye hua hai." So why don't we say, Fevicol ki bottle hat bhi nahi payegi, because Fevicol stands for sticking, right? So you won't be able to move the bottle also. So na bottle hilegi, na valuation kategi. That became the line, and we just replaced those Coke bottles with Fevicol bottles. And that creative went berserk. It was covered by all the major news platforms of the country. It was, viral on stock market groups where, Pidilite's valuation was being talked about. It again came back to us on our WhatsApp that, okay, hey, Fevicol has done something amazing and all of that. So now that is a moment where we felt instinctively, okay, this is what we need to do and this is, worth talking about. So that is how our content goes around. As I said, the approach is to do something different and something, you just have fun with it. Rather, the same happened in the case of Domino's as well, where Mirabai Chanu, who is our Olympic champion, who has done a beautiful job in representing this country. She just gave a very nice little interview saying that, the moment I come back to India, I want to have a pizza. And now the field was open for all pizza brands to cash in on that and everything. Domino's just went in and said, okay, we are going to offer free pizzas to her for her entire lifetime, and also basically entered into a commercial deal with her where she endorsed this thing. Of course, since she's a player, her fitness and everything needed to be taken care of, and like she had to stand for a certain standard of fitness. So it was only an internet deal, from what I understand.
Yeah, got it. And yeah, I
And
get.
also, who said athletes can't eat pizza? So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So, great. Which is one platform that you see is the most promising right now?
I see Instagram as the most promising right now. I'll be honest, because Instagram is, in fact, just about in this week only, they have combined, the IGTV videos and Reels feature into Instagram video features, and there's going to be a separate tab on your profile where you can do a lot of stuff in terms of videos. So the kind of tools and the kind of accessibility it's providing to people. So I see Instagram growing quite a bit in the next few years. It's already big now. I think I think it applies to you also, and it applies to me also. Most of us are more active on Instagram as compared to your Facebook and Twitter and all of that of the world. Then I think closely followed by Instagram is going to be YouTube, because YouTube, at least during this whole 1 or 2 years of the pandemic, has become a learning platform. So a lot of people are going and subscribing to channels related to how to invest, how to go forward and learn a new skill, how to make a profile on Fiverr, for example, how to earn money on the side. So it started with all of this because there was a certain period of insecurity during the pandemic, and after that, YouTube became a go-to platform. Like, you were hooked onto YouTube because of the recommendations you are getting and because of the kind of videos you are being able to access. So I think it is going to be Instagram, YouTube. Then I would say third would be your Twitter, which is always going to explode when there is a piece of news, or it's always going to explode when there is something controversial which is being discussed. It's always going to explode when there is going to be a new movie release or whatsoever, where you want to get that trend going around that. And then there is going to be LinkedIn and Facebook.
All right. And which of these has actually helped you in some way or the other? Like, now somebody who's working in an agency, does Twitter help you in generating ideas? Does LinkedIn help you to get into that professional network? Does Facebook helps you to network with amazing founders, SaaS groups and everything? Like, what's one platform that has recently helped you in any way?
So for me, one platform that has helped me personally in my personal capacity is definitely going to be LinkedIn. Okay. Because I'll tell you how it has happened. I am quite active on LinkedIn, as you know, and I put out my opinions quite frequently. Sometimes those opinions fly with people. Sometimes people disagree with that opinion. However, there are times when that opinion has resonated across the industry, and there have been industry publications, some reputed publications like AFAX, Social Samosa, Business Insider, and all of those publications, who have provided me with their platform, saying, "Okay, we really like what you're writing. Could you please write more about it? And could you also tell us more about it and everything?" So I've gotten opportunity to author articles on these platforms, which are very, very reputed platforms in the industry, through my LinkedIn. So that from a perspective of, one, making the opinion reach more people, and two, from also a personal branding perspective, has been a big boon for me. So that is one thing. The second thing is that otherwise, on a professional front, I think I need to name this small app. It's not, in fact, the social media platforms. There's this small app called Feedly, Feedly, which basically helps you track your updates on a very neat RSS feed sort of a format, where you can just basically scroll through this thing. So I've subscribed to the Facebook newsroom, to the Twitter blog, and to LinkedIn blog, and Instagram blog, and all of that, and also to certain websites which tell you more about updates, to my industry industry magazines like AFAX, Social Samosa, Media Insider. Then there's a list of websites that I've subscribed to over there, and I get it in a beautiful feed sort of a format that I can just scroll through news, and if there's something that catches my attention, I can explore more about it. So in fact, this update that I'm sharing with you about Instagram, combining its capacities into Instagram video as a thing, I got it from this RSS feed that I've downloaded every morning before I start my work. Just for 15 minutes, I scroll through this to get my updates and all of that.
All right. And if there's a book or a blog or a series that you can recommend to any marketer watching this, what would it be?
So what I find, Unnati, these days is that as far as content is concerned for brands and all of that, there's a lot of similarities and formulaic approach to content because of the matrix thing that you said. Like at one point of time, there was something that, okay, this is what algorithm likes, so we'll serve the algorithm in this way. Okay, banters are good, so we'll keep doing banters. Okay, clickbaits are good, so we'll keep doing clickbaits and all of that. However, the fundamental thing of this is being, these are all formulas, and formulas don't work beyond a point. There's a simple economy on which the platforms function. If you provide platform with a certain amount of engagement, with a certain amount of likes or shares or certain amount of views, that means the platform understands that, okay, people are spending time on my platform, and hence it gives you more organic reach. It's just a simple transaction. Or if you're not providing it with that kind of time, like if you're not leading to people spending time on that platform through your content, then the platform demands for money to give you that kind of reach, which is your ads and Facebook ads and all of that. So it's a simple matrix over there, and that is why a creative approach is very, very necessary to whatever kind of content you do, whether it's a simple post, whether it's a video or whatsoever. What is going to lead to people spending time on that post, or people stopping on their feed to just view that post or whatsoever, is that it should be something different, and it should not be misleading. To get attention, you can publish something misleading, but it's only a short-term strategy. It's not a long-term one. So to develop the creative approach, I would recommend a beautiful book by Mr. Luke Sullivan called Hey Whipple Squeeze This, which is something that most copywriters and most people must read. Most marketers also should read to understand how a creative piece of communication does wonders for a brand. It also the book doesn't only talk about good examples, but also tries to tell you on how you can think more creatively.
Okay.
So it's a beautiful book, and if you read it, there's some beautiful examples. It's in fact even being updated as we speak. It's a book which has been running since ages. Then when digital came, it was updated again. And now with the way the digital landscape has evolved, there's one more new update coming soon. So I think people should go and buy that new updated version of the book.
Got it. All right. And what's one networking hack that you have in mind? Because you've networked with great publications, you've networked with a lot of agency owners, then of course you also contribute to hiring your team or selecting team members or whatever it is in whatever capacity, but then networking plays a role when you're in an agency, and also somebody who has a splendid personal brand. So what's one networking hack that you have?
It's going to be very cliche if I give it. It's going to be very simple if I give it, but just 2 words: be nice. Be nice to people you are hiring. They're in need of a job. So don't exploit that need in any way. Don't try to be, cocky or sassy with them. There are publications who approach you. Be nice to them also, because at the end of the day, they are also trying to give you a platform and opportunity for you to explore your talent and for you to put your opinion out there. So just be nice to them, and be someone who genuinely believes in your opinion. Don't just try to have an opinion for the sake of getting published or whatsoever. Stick to your opinions, stick to your ground. Be firm about your opinions, but be polite at the same time. So that is in terms of that. And as far as overall client relationships are concerned, a lot of times what happens is client feedback is viewed quite, this thing negatively and all of that. A little bit of empathy also helps over there, because we need to realize that clients are also human beings. They have much more pressure than us. Like we have the pressure to only come up with good communication, but they have sales pressure. They need to convert leads and all of that. So they are always tensed about that. So sometimes a little bit of reassurance, कि यार tension मत लो यार, सब ठीक हो जाएगा, हम है ना, we'll be trying to do the best thing with your brand, and if this doesn't work, then we can do this also, we can do that also. When you're a little reassuring in your tone to your clients, they also feel nice, and they believe more in the way this thing is conducted. Then even I have seen results where sometimes when we believed in something, it hasn't worked. Also, the client is like, कोई नहीं यार, it's all about trial and error. Try किया ना, नहीं हुआ, कोई बात नहीं, next time और एक कुछ अच्छा करेंगे. So when you are nice to them, so it just results in some amazing relationships. And invest in relationship building. Keep in touch with people. Small things like wishing someone a happy birthday on their birthday, just dropping a WhatsApp text. I would prefer calling them up, but just dropping a small WhatsApp text, or just basically congratulating them on their promotion or whatsoever on LinkedIn itself, goes a long way in building a good relationship.
All right. And my last question is, what makes you choose an agency life over freelancing?
So I would certainly choose an agency life over freelancing, because at any current point of time, freelancing, at least the way it is in India, it's not a very stable form of income. One, I have had experiences. I did work as a freelancer for a while, but I have had experiences where I have done the work, but payment आया नहीं है client से. So I have had to, cause a stink with them and all of that. So I really don't have the time to, follow up with someone for my own payment, and I don't really want to get into that. And after that, I made it a rule that if I have to work with someone, then I will work with known people only, and that too on very, very selected projects. So, I mean, for me, agency life definitely tops, further. And also agency life gives you access and exposure to more creative professionals like you, which is your team, or your superiors in the team, your clients, the entire setup, which is you have your servicing teams, you have your media teams and all of that. So it's a more holistic experience as compared to just working as a freelancer, which is on a solo basis. For me, that is the joy in advertising, the advertising life, that I get to brainstorm with either equally talented or more talented people than me also, and then you're in the wrong room. So I think when I am in the room with my creative team people, my solutions people, they are much more smarter than me, and they really, I end up learning something from them every time I am, brainstorming with them. So yeah.
All right. And that takes me to the rapid fire section.
Okay.
I'll give you two options and you'll have to select one, and we'll make it very quick.
Sure.
All right. So content or consistency?
Consistency.
All right. LinkedIn DMs or comments?
Depends. Comments, if it's a opinion which is matching the opinion of the person, or trying to do this. DMs, if you want to discuss more about it. I really disrespect the entire process of debating in the comments. So if I have an opinion which is contrary to someone else's, I would like to take it to DMs and try to discuss it with them over there peacefully, rather than doing this one-upmanship in the comments. So it really depends.
Okay. One marketing or growth hack that you see always working?
One marketing or growth hack that I see always working. It's not a hack, it's just an approach, a creative approach will always work.
All right, great. And what's one go-to tool that you always use, or it always is open on your browser? Like it can be any marketing tool. It can be as something.
Sorry, I couldn't hear the question, Unnati.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now hear you.
All right.
Yeah. I think it's, yeah.
Okay. I'll just do a movement check. Can you see this?
Yeah, I can see it. I think there's some lag,
yeah.
But yeah, okay, it's better now. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So what is one tool that is always open on your browser?
One tool that is always open on my browser. There's no such tool, honestly. I think I'm a little old school that way. I don't have any tools open on my browser. It's mostly Google Drive and Google Calendar that are open on my browser all the time.
All right.
calendar to check which calls I have to go on, and drive to check the subsequent, brief docs or, content docs that have been prepared by the teams to, in relation to that call, which I need to check before going on the call. So yeah.
All right. How do you strike the work-life balance?
I disconnect after a certain time. I do not try to. So I have in my team, I've just tried to strike a rhythm in which we start work by a certain time and we finish work by a certain time. And after that work time, we try not to disturb each other unless there's something urgent. And overall, also, I think after a certain point of time, we just disconnect over the weekends. We do not engage with any sort of work. And unless there is a campaign which is going live on a weekend, so in that cases we have to. But and then we also take comp offs and all of that. Overall, the work-life balance is in such a way that I also use my spare time in a way where I can learn more and absorb more. So I go and network with people in my spare time. I would read books. I'll even count, for a profession to be a copywriter. I think it's also important to watch a lot of content, which is good so that you can create good content. So I'll watch Netflix series and all of that and be updated with it. So for example, there are a lot of memes running around Squid Game right now. So for me to make a meme tomorrow, I need to understand what Squid Game is. So I'll watch it, for example. So now when my mom says that I'm doing time pass, I'll say, no, I'm working. So it's just that.
Makes sense. What's your current read or Netflix series that you're watching? Like what are you consuming currently?
So I'm halfway through Squid Game, but I just started something yesterday night called the House of Secrets, which is on the unfortunate Burari that happened in the Delhi area. I remember this incident when it happened. I was quite curious about it. I was like, this is a little disturbing, but it's also a little odd. How did this happen and everything? And I think that is what the documentary delves into, and it also tells you a lot. Such disturbing documentaries, I mean, also tells you a lot about people and how they react to certain situations.
Mindset.
And, their mindsets, their psychology. And it's a good way to, gather insights about people. However, the primary purpose of watching it is, of course, the curiosity that I have had since the last, I think, 2 years, 3 years, that since this incident happened. And just to find out what is there in it. So that's the only purpose. Yeah.
All right. And what's one quote that you swear by, or one thing or one sentence that has stuck by you since you've come so far?
There's this one quote I read somewhere. I don't remember where, but it said a creative adult is the child who survived. And I really think it is, I believe in it. So yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for doing this on a Saturday afternoon. I hope you have a great evening ahead. And yeah.
Thank you, Nati, for taking out time on a Saturday afternoon to interview me. Thank you so much for doing this.